About mobilization and organization, of course, that's a strategy. Organization is obviously the key. You can't be unified unless you're organized. The only way you can be unified is to be organized. The thing about it today is the things that we need to put inside of our strategy. As again, we say, ideology, then you have principles, you got your objectives, then you have strategies and tactics. And one of the things we need to put inside of our strategy towards our objective of just, we're going to use a general objective of upliftment of black people. Because one of the things you have to realize is, as black people, is we can't live in chaos. We need a clear objective for our people. We need a clear objective for our people, and that objective is Pan-Africanism, the unification of Africa under scientific socialism. And now a lot of people, once I say that, you got the devil's advocate, you have the antagonist, you have the person that's going to immediately think, well, we all not going to, we can't be this or can't be that. But we obviously know, as Nkrumah says, that wherever you are in the diaspora, you belong to the African nation. Wherever you are in the diaspora, you belong to the African nation. If you're black, you belong to the African nation. So at that point, we need to realize that as a people, this needs to be our objective, so that, again, our ideology, our thoughts can give us the proper action. Our thoughts can give us the proper action. These actions can create more thoughts, enhance, the actions that we are overtaking. And so it's just a thing that we need to realize as a people, that we are in a stage like a lot of times, like the civil rights, for instance, the civil rights movement. It was just a movement. It was a movement. A movement is basically a surge. It's something temporary. It gets a certain objective. Okay. The civil rights movement was to bring about a certain amount of human rights. Black Power movement was saying, hey, take control of your communities. And then here we stand today. We can use the same bathroom, we work on the same jobs, we are still have the segregation confined to the communities, but then we don't necessarily control those communities. So it's just to a point where, as a people, that's something that we need to do. We need to realize, coming into our future, our future has begun. Our future is continuing. And one of the things that we need to realize is that the objective of the Black Power movement has not been actualized. It hasn't been actualized. So we're in a situation where that's something that needs to be done. And there are obviously many strategies out here, but again, we must organize. You cannot be unified unless you're organized. You must mobilize to organize. A lot of times we think that like the brother Al Sharpton, he'll bring us together for a certain cause. Sean Bell, the Gen 6, different causes or issues that affect us. They're, of course, just a reaction, as far as, I'll get to that later, as far as revolution and reaction, proactive and reactive. But one of the things that we realize when we mobilize is that we need to have people joining these organizations. A lot of times our people say, well, I don't want to join an organization got these different problems, da-da-da-da-da. And it's just a thing where, well, if they do, you need to start your own organization. Because basically, I'm just going to put it out here like this. We need to get our people, the majority of our people, if not all of our people, organized in some organization. Because there's a thing that exists called the African United Front. Some people call it the Black United Front. But once our people are in these organizations and we bring these organizations together on certain objectives and different agendas at any particular time, then we have the unity and organization we're necessary to get anything accomplished. And so, that's the thing, we need to mobilize to organize. Now, one of the things that, and I'm going to explain this to you, and some people go over and understand this, and some people, I want you to get it properly. But we mobilize to organize. And one of the things that, like, you know, there's a saying, don't hate the player, you know, hate the game. And that's one of the things is we say the same thing. I mean, it's just on the level of don't hate the player, hate the game. The game is the fact that we live in an oppressed condition. We live in a condition of a second-class citizen around the world. We're not speaking on one country. We're speaking around the world. We live in a certain condition. And this is because Africa is not unified. Africa is not a strong nation. It's like China is a strong nation. When a Chinese person goes somewhere, it's like, you know, they're a Chinese person. You know, you have a certain respect for them because their nation is strong currently. Because see, we know we're the first people. And we know that we have had strong nations. But then at the same time, today, we must build our nations. Because, yeah, we're not going to get into all the dynamics of when Africans go different places. Let's be Africans from America, Africans from the continent, or what have you, wherever African is, when they go somewhere else. But we know around the world, we need to have a strong nation to get respect as a black person. Because basically, anybody knows that you say when you go somewhere, if you're from America, for one, America doesn't get much respect at all. And then at the same time, being a black person from America, you can only imagine how you're portrayed around the world, because you can see how your image is portrayed here. So, but just saying, we mobilize to organize. We mobilize to organize. We don't want necessarily to have charlatan preachers, because that was one thing. I mean, during the time of Garvey, there was Father Divine. You've had, you know, we've had countless amounts of people during the time Malcolm X spoke on the streets. I mean, you can go now and you'll still see the Hebrew Israelites, or, you know, different preachers or whatnot will be speaking on the street. And this is good, because we do need to mobilize to organize. We need to mobilize to organize, because basically what we need is, just say if for Christians, you know, if it would be good if like on Sundays, you know, they all go to church or whatever. But just saying, wouldn't it be great if, like, on Thursday, just every preacher and deacon and assistant preacher and just every adherer of the word took a street corner and just started? I mean, can you imagine, at least for that day, the spirit, the ideology that you would put into the air to be able to change at least actions, if it's nothing but for that day, not to mention the days on. But again, like I said, we mobilize, organize. Sometimes we mobilize around an issue, but even if we organize around this issue, our main objective should be to get our people into organizations. Sometimes only one organization may, as in the case of Al Sharpton, sometimes, like with the Gen of 6. The new Black Panther Party went down there early, you know, then later on Al Sharpton and the media came. You know, Al Sharpton's, I'm sorry, his organization name was escaping right now, but, you know, he organizes for organization. So, it would be nice if, like, when the new Black Panther Party went there, Al Sharpton's organization went there. They both are there. Many people mobilized to go support this effort. And then when, not only when they left, some people may not have joined the organization, but if the majority of the people at the time joined the new Black Panther Party or Al Sharpton's organization. So then when it was time to do any other effort, these organizations have already built the relationship, and they have the troops, if you will, as well. Not to mention, again, like I say, we build ideology through organizations. So we mobilize to organize. Like I say, we mobilize to organize.